All right, so we get started. Um, Welcome to the weekly stream with Rainbow Trends. This is Rainbow Runner, head guy behind all of the crazy candles and everything else that you guys see, all the tools, bots, etc. If you don't know what all this is about, check us out at the website rainbow-trends.com. At the top is where you can actually see to join the Discord community. So we're going to do the stream for about an hour, and then I'm gonna hop off the Twitch stream and then open up the stream in the Discord so we can do an open mic. People can ask questions if you have ideas, want to share them. We had a lot of fun last week, and that's pretty much going to be the norm from now on. So logging in around 8 o'clock on Thursdays, doing a stream for about an hour, talking about Rainbow Three, what we see in the charts, and then we're going to hop over into the Discord. If you're new to all the stuff that we've got going on or have no idea, check us out on the website. There's big write-ups. I'm not going to go into it a lot. We're going to go pretty fast, assuming you guys kind of know what we're talking about. And then if you want to sign up or get any of our free tools, let us know. You can sign up on the website for free, or if you're interested in the premium stuff, you can go there. So, anywho, where are we? We are in bull territory. Things are bullish. Things are moving. This whole, what was it, a year, 2 years, I don't know how long it was. This whole bear market looks like we're pulling up and out of it, and it's awesome. We are back, and things are looking good. And that's where I can kind of segue and transition to that. As a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This stuff is intended to be for educational purposes only. Even if you were to mistake this as financial advice, please consider it bad financial advice and don't use it. So, anyway, Bitcoin has blown out and it's been awesome. There's no other way to say it. It's starting to show life. We've been stuck in this damn range forever. And to keep it simple, this is it on the dailies. Yeah, it looks really awesome in hindsight. Oh man, if you'd have just played daily candles and gone through this, you'd have been so good. Sold these tops, hit the bottoms. And that is true to an extent, but man, a lot of people didn't survive this and didn't make it. So congratulations if you're here. You're still standing. A lot of people didn't make it. And frankly, a lot of people went to jail. So congrats to that. You survived. You're not in jail. And you did better than Alameda and FTX combined. So congratulations, you're still liquid. And that's the bit going to be the survive, like the name of the game is really survival. You need to be left standing. You can make $1 billion scalping and trading and doing leverage and all this other stuff. You get one gambling addiction away and you can blow up an entire pot in one single trade. We don't want to do that. And it's hard. This stuff is so exciting when you're on and when you're on. So just precaution. We're about to see some really crazy runs. This stuff's likely to go on for a good bit. The halvening's coming up in April, and that's kind of what I was showing here. People are asking me, like, how am I looking at this? I don't really know how we're going to come back into this range. I know there's a lot of bear talk. Capo may get his day, but we've broken through. We came up. We hit this order block here that goes all the way back to the previous capitulation crash from the previous all-time high, like 65. This order block kind of mirrors that. I don't draw them over each other because otherwise this would have to be a huge one. It get a little messy, but for streaming purposes, I'm trying to keep this a little clean. And we've gone through it. We've chopped. We've had people. This was the FTX dying. This was, I think, Luna, and I think this one of the Three Arrows Capitals in there. Anyway, a lot of people in jail. We covered all that stuff. Whatever. Times are tough. Times are bad, but we're kind of coming out of it. And frankly, it's been awesome to watch like the Rainbow crew like come through this because a lot of Discord's communities died off, and you guys just kept crushing it, kept learning it, making yourselves better traders with all different types of styles, whether that's Ichimoku, fundamental analysis, TA, whatever, Wyckoff theory, you want to, as well as like color trading with like rainbows. And now that the game is kind of getting easier, and frankly, we're seeing the P&Ls we've been seeing the guys just crush is just absolutely insane. Some of them I actually talk to like in the DMs. I'm like, so when are you quitting your day job? Because if any of this is sustainable, unless you've got an insane day job, I don't know how you're not outrunning your salary. So anyway, long story short, I'm happy for everyone who's still here. I'm happy for, even if you're not part of the Rainbow crew, hop on if you want to. If not, I'm happy you're you're still here as well, because this is kind of life at this point. Crypto's chugging along. ETFs are coming. A lot of good stuff's coming, and price is showing it. And frankly, I haven't seen some of this price action in the books in a very long time. This whole week, I signed back up for Trading Light, and I'll show some of it. And I've just been watching the whales just completely destroy order books. Like, God help you if you left out a limit sell, it was going to get eaten this past week. It's been awesome. But high level map where we are with Bitcoin, if we zoom really, really out, and I apologize because a lot of my Rainbow stuff is on high time frames. It's a bit noisy, but our all-time highs as an order block up here, we're talking like 64 to like 69. And then we kind of have a mid-range order block here, but I've kind of just left it as the pivots. There's a pivot at 42, and then there's a pivot at 48. And then these are our deadlines. So the ETF deadline is, I believe, January 10th. It's in the first part of January. So we're roughly like 30-ish days from that. And then we have the halvening, which right now is about the end of April. That moves a little bit depending on the hash rates, but it's going to be pretty close, probably mid-April to maybe early May. But anyway, long story short, we're like 30 days from ETF. We're like 140-ish days from the halvening, and the halvening is bullish. There's a lot of people that say like halvening doesn't matter. It's never really bearish. Sometimes there's like a sell the news, and you'll see price move up into the halvening date, break off, make a belly, and then it just basically walks its way back up. Either way, just really pumping. We can skim some off the top and buy the belly. But frankly, what I'm saying here is in the next 1 to 4 months, the really, really big stuff that we've been dreaming of is happening. The halvening's coming, which is awesome. We've seen that before. But the ETF stuff, we've never seen this before. So BlackRock comes in. I don't know how this is going to be bearish. I'd like to think it's not sell the news because everybody's anticipating it at this point. I think it's going to be bullish. My gut tells me it's going to be bullish, and whatever. But you've seen the run up to this ETF approval. We're running out of sellers already before the buyers even get to come online. So it's going to get crazy interesting. And as bullish as this is, right? We're talking like 160% move, which is awesome. Now, dude, like, you snipe the bottom and you've been long this whole time, like, you're a rock star. You'll get your clout. A lot of people have been chewed up through this, as they should have, because this, for months, if you've ever been in the Discord, we've just been talking Barts this whole time, and it's been crazy. But the big thing I wanted to point out is, look at the colors. We only are dealing with blues and greens. We don't have any pinks or purples. These old runs we had, they got going and they just started screaming purples and pinks until the colors finally rolled over at the macro distribution of the tops, right? So what I'm saying is we're getting going, and the implications are we're like down here. If we start printing purples and pinks dailies, 60K is not going to hold, which is getting really interesting because in the grand scheme of things, this is where I'm getting weirded out, because I thought for sure we weren't going to have this huge run up before the halvening. So long story short, like, this type of move, kind of eyeballing it, that's all-time high area by February, March. Like, if we just keep going up at this angle, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but what I'm saying is it's acting like it's going to go higher. And it's acting like it's going to go higher well before the halvening. So people talk about like what they're going to do next, whatever. Hey, what's your price targets, blah, blah, blah. And I tell people, like, with Rainbow Theory, I don't really have price targets. I know where resistance and support's going to be if we have previous price history, especially since we have all these order blocks and these pivots. But when we start talking about stuff where I get uncomfortable, I don't start just saying, hey, we're going to hit 120K, we're going to hit 140, whatever, by this date. I just tell you, hey, I'm going to look for a top that tells me it's a parabolic top and it's a macro top. That's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for signs macro wise what this looks like. I'm not going to focus on the y-axis. I'm going to focus on this, what this looks like. And there's a few reasons for that. Because let me show you some stuff. Because there's two options here. There's only two things that's going to happen. This thing's either going to go to all-time high before the halvening, or it's not. Coin toss. I mean, realistically, let's figure out our path. It's damned if we do, damned if we don't. No, that's the two options. It's either going to go above all-time high or it's not. What do we do if it does? That's where I'm kind of in a weird spot. If we get above $69,000 before the halvening, I'm just going to be watching for pain. And frankly, when we start, anytime I'm in price discovery, people ask me like what my targets are. I'll look at coin market caps in regards to like altcoins. Hey, is it possible for Ethereum to hit $500? It's not. So like realistically, I don't have a target up there. But if you're talking about like the baddest run that Ripple could ever do, yeah, we're talking like $10 maybe, and it would just be insane to even see that. But I would still be looking for this paint. And the reason I'm bringing this up, guys, is I'm just kind of going all over the place. There's a top coming potentially that could hit us. It could keep going, but it could pull back, and this could be a trap if we get close to this. So this is what I'm really watching. We've broken the 42K pivot. We're getting close to the 48. At this point, it looks like we could hit it in a few days if price keeps going up, albeit the week it's coming. If we start trucking past the 48 pivot, there's really not a lot of resistance through here. And if we start getting close to the all-time high by the ETF deadline, like, dude, things are going to get absolutely wild. You're going to get some crazy volatility. So the big thing is get your gains while the volatility's here, but also don't get careless, protect your butt. And the thing I want to point out here is back in 2019, this was one of the greatest sells I ever did. Personally, I sold Ripple above 322. That's probably my top 10 trades of all time. And that's where I learned to not be emotional, because I knew I was trading something that wasn't very good. So when it went crazy, I got out. So this is something I wanted to point out, and then I'll catch up on the chat. Nobody talks about this. I saw George talking about this on Twitter, and it got my attention because Inverse Bra mentioned it, and I said, yes, please talk about this. Nobody talks about this parabolic run. They only are curious. They only care about the 20K and the 65K that came after it. But look at this bad boy. This was one of the most parabolic things we've ever seen Bitcoin do. And this was when it started in April. Is that April? Yeah, April. It peaked in June. So within two and a half months, Bitcoin went 244% in 2 months. So if I hid the y-axis, you would totally be like, hey, that's amazing, that's parabolic, blah, 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 blah. But when I tell you that's 2019, people overlook it. They want to study the 20K, they want to study the 65. They don't study the 13.5. So, zoom out. Bear market capitulation bottom. We got awesome paint prints that it was bottom. And then we got parabolic paint coming out of it, right? That's what we want to watch out for. If we get parabolic paint, especially going into like a Santa Claus rally, we need to be prepared to at least have our stops in place in case it comes back down. Because let me go back to it, sorry. 13.5 bled out pretty hard. It went from like 13, or it went to 14K on Binance. That's awesome. It really bled out to about $7,000. So it did a 50% down draw. Right? If we were to hit like 60K and come back to 30, that's going to wreck a lot of people's. And we don't want to be on the people on the crying into that. So keep that in mind. Now that's COVID, so I don't count that. But look, that's 14K to 6K. That's awful, right? So the thing is this bad boy's warming up. We haven't seen the parabolic paint yet. But it's warming up and it's acting like it could start. Preferably, I would like that to start past the halvening, but if we go parabolic like crazy into December, Like, we could totally have, bloop, and then we bleed. And then you're going to start people talking about, oh, it's Chinese New Year. They come back in late January, and then price is going to pump. Trust me, bro. So that's kind of my roadmap. It's not me telling you what will happen. It's telling me, trying to tell you guys like what can happen and like where I'm thinking of how to handle it. If we just go parabolic as F into the end of January, I'm going to be really itching to sell, in all honesty. If we just start going into price discovery after that, I can hop back in for sure. But like a lot of my Bitcoin and stuff like that, it's already in long-term capital gain status. I don't mind selling it there. So we're good. But anyway, not that I trade unregistered securities. So hypothetically. But anyway, that's the quick summary of what I've got for Bitcoin because things are looking good. I'm just worried is a lot of people, nobody studies the 13.5. But if you study rainbows, this thing was mad parabolic. And I think it wicked to 13.8. I got out at 13.3. I got out on those wicks. And I was literally in a meeting with, I'm not going to name the client, but one of the very, very top oil field companies in the world. And my phone started blowing up that, hey, pink, hey, purple. And I got my bids out. So it was awesome. I entered at 44, which was high. This was my first time I ever took the leap of faith on Rainbow Theory. Life savings in at 44, and then I got it out there. It's kind of nice. I didn't do so good on the re-entry past that, but I did buy the COVID dip just based off that paint. So long story short, this is what I'm worried about. It's either going to do this or it's just going to keep trucking to infinity, right? Not really infinity, but we're going to go on the bull run. But what we could have here is a parabolic paint before the real things get going. And if it does that, that's where I want to see Rainbow Crew take some profit, re-enter, and get going. Even so, even if you want to miss all that and just hold for 2 years, that's still probably just fine too. So anyway. Oh, back to the chat. How you doing, Kunra? You love the interview with Dylan? Dude, I love Dylan. He's awesome. What's up, Rick James? What's up, Pixa, with your slightly obscure name in here so people maybe not know who you are? What was the context behind the 2019 pump? I don't know. Everything got stuck at 3,300. Nobody was buying anything, and then it went straight to 13.5. It was pretty crazy. If you were practicing on your demo account, would you sell in January? Is that what you're saying? I'm saying is if we get parabolic paint around Christmas time, I might cash in some presents. Rainbow Thins has been around since then. So Pixa brings up a point. This is where I found out most people are LARPs and most indicators are fake. And I started figuring out about whales. And shout out Carpe Noctem, Josh Oldswicks. That was the videos that I was like, what the hell is he talking about, these whales? Because I'm an engineer by trade, and I could tell something happened. I bought here, I sold here, right? Like, I round tripped to 2017, and I was like, what the hell was that? It wasn't natural. So I started studying whales based off his videos, and I couldn't figure out a way to properly see the whales. And I started coding and started figuring out, hey, trading with just red and green candles is a disadvantage. I don't watch TV in black and white. These whales are very elusive. They're very good at what they do. The game is rigged against you. I need better tools to better arm myself. So I started developing Rainbow Theory, and I started learning coding. And the very, very beginning basis of Rainbow Theory, I had the theory pretty much confirmed here, like to where I started believing it. And that's when I took the leap of faith and actually put like my life savings on it. And I was younger, and that was very scary because I watched my life savings down draw like 40%. And then it came out of it. So I talk about like a leap of faith like with traders, that's my leap of faith. That's where I thought I had the theory. I put my money where my mouth was, and it was either I was going to make it or not. And I was going through my old notes in like 2018 the other day, and I literally saw a note in the entry that was around this time, and it was literally just like, note to self, Rainbow Theory is real. Like, it confirmed it. I'm just seeing that the RSI bottom print was 3,400. So anyway, that's my story. A lot of people like practice. They think they've got it. They put their money on the line, then they don't make it. They never come back, blah, blah, blah. That was my development. And it's only grown since then. And at the time, I was just a crazy guy talking about rainbows. And I was just talking about whales. And people kept asking me. I started getting really good at calling bottoms and tops. And people started asking me about, like, how do you do this? Because I could tell the levels, like, hey, at this price, in my head, price is going to hit purple. We need to sell here, blah, blah, blah. And people on Twitter is like, wait, the crazy dude's actually calling levels that are right. And then people started asking me, like, how the hell are you doing this? I was like, well, I never planned on showing anybody, but if you want to see a rainbow chart, this is what it is. Because I thought it looked embarrassing. And I didn't think anybody would put their money where their mouth is on it. And then people started seeing like the charts, and they're like, "Holy crap, this stuff's real!" And I was like, "Yeah." And then they demanded that I set up a way to offer it. And lo and behold, 2 years later, Rainbow Trends, the actual company's been alive for like 2 years now. So Rainbow Theory goes back to 2017, but we've only been quote unquote truly a company for like 2 years. So it's been a journey, because I was like a nobody at like 50 followers on Twitter rambling about Alameda and whales. And now it's turned into this whole stuff, and it's kind of, it's a true humble beginning, because none of this was planned. I just got pissed off at the world that I didn't have the tools to hang with whales. So I started coding, or started reading PineScript to see if I could code in it, and then started testing. Like, when I say I found out like all the tools were like fake, about 98% of them were. I back tested, like, once I figured out you could do bot trading in PineScript, I just took all this stuff that everyone on Twitter and all the tutorials stuff said, hey, you use these settings with these tools, it's killer. And then I just like, all right, me personally, I can't out trade a computer, so let me just program all these into computers and back test them. And everything was awful. The only like really good thing I ever found in the default stuff is the really, really high time frame like Ichimoku stuff was good, and then RSI was really good. 98% of like everything else was garbage. The stuff that looked really, really, really good and had high accuracy was a signal after the fact. And if it was a signal that came before the actual print, the accuracy was too low to trade. So anyway, long story short, that's how we've got this. So this stuff was kind of born out of frustration, because I'm not a computer programmer by heart, but I had to learn how to do it. So anyway, divergence there, but that's the story, Pixa. Anyway, so that's Bitcoin. And one thing I want to show here before I translate is, this was kind of a cool pattern. When I first saw this, I was like, we got a BART. BART's coming. We need to prepare. If the BART doesn't come, that's fine, but we at least need to be like, let's bring up these stops, right? And this thing kept going, and it just kept bleeding, but the hairline of the BART just kept going this way. And then it broke free. And that's where I like really made it solid, a transition to, when you're wrong on a BART, you capitulate long. It feels wrong to capitulate long, but you have to. And that's where we've gone since then. So it's been kind of interesting, because this is kind of grinding up. And in a bearish market, this is a bad sign, but like, we're showing signs of life, so it's really good. And Ethereum is really where I want to go next, because frankly, Bitcoin's been going up, gapping Ethereum, going up, gapping Ethereum, and just been leaving it in the dust. And FBTC ratios at an all-time, like, not all-time low, but it's in a very, very low state. I don't really do BTC ratio charts. I'll look at it for like Litecoin, but very rarely, because I don't really trade Litecoin. But regardless, the the whole time, like Bitcoin's been just going up, gapping up, going up, gapping up. Ethereum's been really lagging. And in my opinion, what happens is, what I've seen in the past, and it's hard to explain it, Bitcoin can only outgap Ethereum so long before Ethereum finally says no more and it starts running to catch up or go on its fabled run. Ethereum, when it runs hard. Albeit this is a new type of Ethereum that's proof of stake. It's a little bit of a different monster. So I'm waiting to see if we get that parabolic paint. But even here, you can see the paint's not been as hot. And we've got a bunch of pivots. This chart is messy. Like, we've been trading all, like, dude, shout out to you if you were in the Discord. Like, we were trading all types of BARTs with all different types of levels for a really long time, and it was just gnarly. Well, this is your, like, order block of all order blocks for the top of the range, and we kind of SOS'd out of it, and we're gone. And true resistance doesn't really show up to about 3,500. So that's something to think about, because we may be going on the run where we're shooting for 35. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, the big dumb move is, hey, this is coming. This is reaccumulate. This is accumulation. We're going to move back up. Just kind of like the Bitcoin chart, there's really not a lot of room. Here. I say no, there's not a lot of room. There's not resistance here. There's not a lot of pivots here. So this was the war zone. We're out of it. This is the next war zone, and the next war zone's pretty damn high. So I would love to see Ethereum, and I'm positioned accordingly for this to go all the way up to 35. And it's going to take it a while. This isn't going to be a bump pump. This is going to take a while, but the volume's coming in on it, guys, and it's starting to warm up. So with traditional alt season rotations, Bitcoin stalls out, Ethereum starts trucking, and that's what we want to see. Albeit the rotations have been kind of weird this alt season. Solana front ran kind of Bitcoin a bit, and Ethereum, like, definitely front ran Ethereum. So that kind of threw a wrench in it. And frankly, like, Doge hasn't moved, SHIB hasn't moved, but a lot of other meme stuff's moved. So, like, what's going on there? Because that's a little bit out of the norm as well. So the playbook isn't really playing out to a T, but I'm pretty sure Ethereum's coming. And just like when Bitcoin broke free of the all-time range, or the big daddy order block, and it took off, that's what Ethereum's starting to do. And we're up. And here it is. Let me show you something really, really quick, because this was a lesson learned that I was struggling with. And my homeboy Doppel politely and confidently somewhat called me out on it, and it was good. It wasn't a call out, but it was like, hey, he saw this as a move up. I saw this as a textbook BART. And by golly, was this a textbook BART up until this point. So one of, like, your nature's habits, like your mind, is you want one outcome. And you'll try to hold on until it happens because you think there might be a chance, whatever. But reality of these moves are, there's only like two things a BART can do. A BART breaks down, kind of grinds down sometimes, or it breaks up. Majority of the times the BARTs break down. Majority of the time. I don't have real numbers on it because these are kind of like a Rainbow Theory thing, because most people don't play with these damn things because they're so damn dangerous, because they can straight nuke you. And they're flat out, they're designed to liquidate the longs and the shorts. But I'm kind of phrasing this as, when these things are invalidated, you capitulate and you get long. And I was waiting for this to break down, and I was waiting to scoop up. So I had capital ready, and then she broke up. And once we had these many H4s print, I capitulated. I re-entered it like 21,115. Or no, that's too low. I need to go check it. I think I read that wrong. I capitulated. I think I longed here. I'd have to go check the order book. Not that I trade unregistered securities, but yeah, it was right before the ETF announcement. Because the ETF announcement, and we went and slammed purples, tagged the pivot to like the penny, and then we bounced off of it. So I'm still long from here, and we're still going. So it's kind of cool. So I got invalidated on a bark call, which is fine. I was set, it's going to do one or two things. I thought it was going to go down, but I was wrong. Capitulated long once I was invalidated, which is not fun, but it paid off. Because this was crazy. Like, it just barred it again, right, essentially. But anyway, long story short, thank you, Doppel, keeping us in check. I hope you don't go on hiatus. If you notice in the Discord, like, I'm intentionally trying to bait these guys to keep them from going on their Christmas breaks. Because to me, if everything's going parabolic in December, get it while it's good. It may not be here in January as far as like parabolic pumps going up. So get what you can. But anyway, that was my last entry on Ethereum. I'm starting to DCA back into it as I think it's going to go up to 35. But my last big entry was like right around here, right before the ETF news. So anyway, that's where we're going. That's where we are. That's the two big ones. You could argue you need to pay attention to a lot of other stuff. Frankly, right now, crypto's paying the bills. I'm not really watching stocks right now other than like Ford and Wayfair. I'm not really looking at S&P because right now crypto's in easy mode. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me catch up on chat. Thank you guys for hanging around while I ramble. What are your thoughts on the BTSF chart? I don't really like these, honestly. I know a lot of people watch these like a hawk, but no, everything's gonna look weird. But I'm just not. Just hold on. Is it FBTC? Sorry. I'm not really crazy about them, but a lot of people trade these. I'm not crazy about it, but I mean, you can see what the tools said. They said the pivot's here at 0.5105. We came in, hit it, well print up, came here, RSI printed into it with an RSI bottom, and then we've come up. And Ethereum's ETF's coming too. Like BlackRock's probably going to get that one as well. BlackRock's not really used to losing. I think they've lost one ETF approval. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my thoughts. I don't pay attention to this enough to really trade it. I really don't. Litecoin typically will print the same bottom every time, and I think that's kind of a macro bottom signal in general, but that's about it. I know a lot of guys are also asking me to look at like Sol stuff. I'm not crazy about Sol, but it's just that I'm petty and it's just not for me. So it's running, and it's running hard, and it's breaking out, and it's painting purples. So let me bring some reversion bands in to check this. So he's getting going again, that's for sure. And general rule, don't buy here. Don't buy pinks this high up. They'll eat you alive. So tempting, because this is when everybody's FOMO talking about it on Twitter, and you want to buy, don't buy pinks above the bands. It's really, really hard on you. Man, I bet the rainbow looks good on a 49. It does, man, but I use the extra real estate on the sides as separate monitors. So like on the left, I have one screen doing like 5 monitors right now. I'll do a screenshot later and send it to you. We test support and move up. You're still into that like 2 weeks ago. Flows of the trends are starting. Good month to practice on your demo account, man. I think you're losing your times to get entries, honestly. I mean, it sucks to talk about Ethereum at this price when it was $1,000 a few months ago, but things are still going. Like if this is not anywhere in the timing of the cycle near where we need to be. Shoot, there's a well print there too. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Need TD13 prints. I'm sorry, this is not TD13. You can see these are not TD9s. I'm trying to figure out how to get this tool out, but this is kind of why you see Malifestor talk about it so much. These TD pivots are sick. They're really, really good. but frankly, I tried to publish this free as an indicator because TD tools in general, they don't visually jive very well with Rainbow Trends just because we've got so many colors and things on the screen. But this was the build that I built that's not technically TD13 copyright purposes. But TradingView prevented me from releasing it, so I'm not really sure what to do because if I get my account like banned, could ban everybody who uses my tools, so I'm real skittish of that. So. Anyway, what's up, Nexus? Nexus may or may not be adding colors to his circles and plaid, which is going to be awesome. Anyway, let's see what's pumping. I want to see Doppel's starting to think about Ethereum Classic. I want to take a look at that real quick. Thank you for the follow, dude. Let's take a look at Ethereum Classic real quick. Did you know Ethereum Classic outran Ethereum the last bull run? Most people don't know that. And if you would bet money, if you asked somebody about it, they would say, no effing way. Dollar-wise, they didn't. Percent-wise, it wiped the floor with Ethereum. But nobody wants to touch Ethereum Classic, especially because it tends to get 51% attacked with Amazon Cloud rentals. But I digress. It's $22 and it's waking up. If Korea comes in hard, maybe we can see it. Maybe. Let me take a look at the dailies. It's going to be messy with the rainbows. Let me pull those off. So yeah. Should be like a target of like 42 to like $45 would be sick. 22 to 45. Awesome. But speaking, are you guys keeping track of the ordinal debate right now? There's so much flack going on right now. Frankly, Bitcoin's working fine for me, but everyone's complaining about the meme pool. But I'm kind of friends with some of the actual ordinals, so I'm picking sides. Definitely going with the ordinals on this one until something breaks. To me, I don't think Bitcoin's... You want to change Bitcoin, go fork it and turn something else. Go pull a Roger Ver. In my opinion, it's perfect code. Don't touch it. But you can build off of it, sure. But trying to censor stuff on a permissionless network, I don't think Satoshi would like that. So I'm starting to actually get into the point where I need to actually go research the tech behind it, why people are so mad at the ordinal wizards. But I like the wizards in general because I kind of like that attitude. Because it kind of aligns with the crypto attitude. Like, you can argue with me that I'm being a dumbass, but I'm sitting here in a wizard outfit. I don't care. So call me whatever you want. This is what I'm going to do. Really like it. So you see me posting a lot of like the upset faces when they're in the ordinal costumes, and I just love it. And we're trying to get an interview with Zach Val, but he's refusing to put on the sexy wizard outfit that I'm trying to get him. So until then, we're not doing the stream. And yes, there are sexy male Harry Potter outfits on Amazon for cheap. Anyway, do you guys have secondary TradingView account? Do what I do, have a second. I do have 2 TradingView accounts. We've got too many bots in the Discord. Or no rotations per month. Well, yeah, the token is nuts. It hit like top 20 volume this month, and nobody talked. And finally, Hasaka talked about it. As you can see, this is just straight up pinks. My tools can't even hang with this right now. You go to the 1 hour. I mean, if you did like the reversion band, yeah, it's just straight up blue bands. You're anywhere in the blue bands with something with history, like takes profit, pays off. I want to see is what's the other one? Bonk. Bonk's the other one that's going nuts. Bonk and Big Time. Yeah, Bonk's still curving up. Bonk hasn't hit the... Good lord. So you can actually see the reversion bands learning. When price is above this green band, they adjust, and it spent so much time above that green band. It kept pulling the gains up. Now it's saying like the wall should be at like whatever that is, 1, 2, 8. So many damn zeros. God lord. I know some of the low time farm traders in the Rainbow crew, they've been posting like They've been low time frame trading this stuff. They've been scalping it. That's 15 minutes, and you can see the order block interactions there. That's cool. The volumes are really impulsy. Cool. What's the other one? Big Time. Big Time's the other one that was hanging above the machine learning stuff. Big Time. Yeah. These charts are just insane. Like I've never seen a chart like this. Pixa was trading it, and he was posting stuff up here well above these. I don't even know what this is. I think it's a gaming token, but anyway, it's getting pretty crazy. Needless to say. Let's take a look. We need to check on Litecoin. There's a lesson in Litecoin. When Litecoin is pumping, we're getting towards the end of a rally. And Litecoin has not pumped yet. It's good. We want to have a lot of fun before this thing wakes up. Still kind of dead. Is BNB still in the top 5? But it's not showing signs of life. Let me check XRP. That's the other one I don't like waking up. XRP is not... Ugh, that's retesting. That might pull. They've also got lawsuit litigation stuff, so anytime they get a lawsuit win, it goes. EOS. Can't type. EOS is starting to wake up, so we're talking one of the 4 horsemen is actually waking up, and there's an order block right there at 787, which it actually wicked. And is it time to get long on EOS? I've never made money on any type of EOS, and I've been baited so many times, but this is just pure trash, straight down. I don't want to mess with it. H-bar? What is H-bar? H-bar is ranging. The volume's waking up, though. You see there's dead areas, then there's excitement. For 4 days. Everything's pumping right now. Someone asked me the other day how I do screening. I build lists that are every single token on a USD pair in certain exchanges, and that allows me to sort by change percent. So I can actively say, is there anything blowing out? And I can see that this is the most active thing on Coinbase. I don't know, High Street. I don't know what this is, but it's been pumping during the stream, actually. Probably a scam pump, but you can see the volume. But it also lets me look for like stuff that's like dipping, and I don't have to go pull up a screener. It's like Aurora's the worst. Yeah. A full rainbow blowout, now it's bleeding. A lot of days on high time frame though, but you can see the volume too. Anyway, gaming token. Yeah, anytime that something's above like blue, I'll message Pixa and ask him. Even though he hasn't announced he's short, I'll be like, "How's your short doing on this token?" What's short? What are you talking about? I know what you're talking about. You can't blow an altcoin out into the cyans and not get Pixa to short it. It's just a rule. Sushi. There's a range here on Sushi that I've been waiting to blow up, and they've been doing some really cool technical upgrades. Don't get me lying on what they actually mean. I've actually been trying to get Jared to come on. He said he would at one point, but that was a long time ago. I don't know if I can get him, but I'm trying. Volume's been really big too, but would love to see this resistance turn into support. I think I still have my spot Sushi bag. I need to check that. The other one I'm for a technical standpoint, I really like Aave from a chart standpoint. From a technical fundamental analysis, it's probably not hot, but I can't not call this the link chart before the link chart blew up. This is like identical to the link chart, and we all saw what the link chart did. I think it's the same. Link has some fundamental like analysis why it pumped, but this is, I think it's ready to go. And you can see here this little white dotted line. I have an alert set for when I think it's gonna go. Or not when I think it's gonna go. I'm gonna start, it'll literally beep every single minute, send an email to my phone, hey, we're above this, above this, above this, and I think we're gonna break out. Because this bad boy, if it ever does break out, the order blocks, it's like 155-ish and then like 254. So if she does the run, my first target's like 50%, my second target's like 140. Which, I don't care who you are, if you can do 50% in 6 months or 150, whatever, that's awesome. So anyway, let me check Zcash since this is a rainbow stream. What's his name? Nexus does have me actually looking at this again, and frankly, this is a market structure shift. So I don't know. Oh, I gotta show you guys some other stuff real quick on another website, but I'm about done on charts with this. But Zcash may actually start to get the bottom. Maybe it'll go on a pump. The long story short is I think this is probably the bottom of Zcash. If Zcash will actually go on a run, we've never had a real true privacy narrative really take off. It's probably a bad bet, but if we could get anything back up to here to like 60, I mean, people forget Zcash hit 370. So 10x from here would be freaking sweet. I doubt we'll get to all-time highs, but I like the way Zcash moves when it is printing paint. So it's easier for me to like swing trade it just in general when it's moving. Can you guys help me remember what's that weird token that I've been talking about on Coinbase? Is an LCX? No. It's the one that just prints Vex? No. Axel. Thank you, sir. You guys need to take a look at this whale. This is some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen. So let me turn off just like the main indicator and let's just look at the RSI prints. I don't know what's going on. Have you ever seen a chart look like this? Like it doesn't move a lot, but it blows RSI out. So for a while I was playing with this because it's obviously super manipulated, but I was like, okay, I'll long RSI prints as long as they're printing. And then that was kind of working. Albeit the liquidity is awful, but it just starts printing and it never stops until it blows out and the whale stops, goes again. It's really, really weird. And today, or this week, some bad boy decided to market buy it and blew the bejesus out of the books. Because there's not much liquidity on this at all. Like I was struggling with like a few $100 just trying to market and mess with it. So I was just kind of testing the waters with the whale to see what would happen. But it's weird. Real weird. And on top of that, Coinbase has the wrapped version of it. So Coinbase offers the wrapped Axel and the normal Axeler. I don't know why. And typically in the past, like you couldn't get Luna on Coinbase, so they give you W Luna, but they wouldn't give you both. So it's weird. It's real weird. But this is something I wanted to show you guys. This is Trading Light. Shout out to the Trading Light guys. Let me go over to Spot Binance. So what this is this is showing liquidity. This is like painting historical heat maps of all of the whatchamacallit, the limit orders. So when you actually see the whales are taking the out. This was interesting. I'm trying to find it. So before we had this crazy run, some dude came in, and this is when CZ was tweeting about it. Each one of these lines is like 200 and 200-ish Bitcoin per line. So before this giant move where we went from 41.5 to 44.4, somebody put in a whole wave of orders here. And market just went nuts, and it chewed up everything that was in its way. That's a pretty big one. That was 150 Bitcoin that got eaten. That was 140. But now we've kind of been shopping, and lo and behold, I see that now. So there's a 200 and a 201. That's kind of cool. So I've been kind of waiting to see, because this whale eventually price went up here, and the whale killed their liquidity their orders, so the liquidity disappeared. I'm waiting to see if they build another wall here. I really am. And then right now you can see where the big boys are trying to get sells out. A lot of the stuff, guys, I've been watching when they do the moves. They put a big line of liquidity here, and price just is going to go hit it. It's been wild to watch. Now we're not in a trucking move. Basically 45K. There's 300 Bitcoin sitting here. We can check. We can check the leverage too. Leverage books look a little bit different. This has got market making algorithms. So you talk about bots that are trading. Those are market making algorithms on the outside. They just kind of sit there and act like ping pong balls to move price. But you can see big boy here. In case we had a capitulation wick, they were trying to catch it. Let's check Coinbase. If you guys hate this type of stuff, let me know. I don't have to show it, but when I'm sitting here watching whales, this is what I like to see. So we talk about like liquidity theory. This is the actual liquidity. So these little moving bots, you notice they move with the trends. That's an algorithm putting that in every single candle. This is the actual like limit orders that are just like stuck. A lot of people do these with computers, but they're stuck and they stay there. So since we've moved up to 44.4, this is Coinbase. Coinbase has been putting up walls here now this week. And their walls are at 46, 47, and then 48. And I kind of want to point this out. Is it here? Yeah. Somebody started putting walls at 60K, which is awesome. So you show all the orders, it gets ugly, but kind of faded out. So if we want to talk about like levels where price is going to start going, if you're going off like the Coinbase, you got to take him out, then you got to move to here, you got to move to here, and then up. So these are the levels we want to see get wiped out. If we can't knock these guys out, maybe it's time to reverse. We don't know. But let me show you a reason. You remember when I was showing you those market makers? They're wicks. Kraken had a crazy wick this week. And one of those market maker guys made bank. This position here was 30 Bitcoin, instantly filled. This position down here, he got that one filled at 8, and then this one was, he got 8 Bitcoin filled here at $39,000, $39,400. Price instantly went back up to 41. So this dude made like 30 grand in a few seconds. So that's what these guys are doing, is they've got stink bids in place. These wicks lasted literally 1 second. I went and looked them at TradingView. They didn't print for more than a split second, but they actually executed. So you couldn't market buy that, but if you had a thing in place, you could totally do it. And they did. So it's kind of cool. And you can also, like when you're going between different people or different exchanges, you can see the different algorithms. Coinbase whales act differently than Kraken whales, etc. You can even see here that the Kraken whales are much lower, 46 to like 45. KuCoin, OKX. We can look at Bitfinex real quick. A lot of people watch Bitfinex. So there you go. You see the market maker here? You see these? How they're spaced out? So these are like projected like algorithms that are going to sit there and try to catch. And then do you see the martingales? See the martingales? These martingales are here to support price. So if price comes in and tags them and eats way through, eventually the idea is price will start moving back up, and it DCAs your price down lower as you go. This guy in particular put this martingale all the way here, and he got 2 out of whatever this is, 10 orders, and then price went up. Here he put another martingale, because let's look, like these are 5 Bitcoins a piece. These are 5 Bitcoins a piece. Surprise, surprise. Well, this is a whale killing his martingale and moving the martingale here. And then after that candle, he put it in place, and he didn't get filled here, and he canceled it. So you can kind of see, like, this is the size of the whale, and he moves around the plot, and you can see him. But here he is again, and he's filling. Let's look. Are these 5? They're 5. 5 Bitcoin a piece. Same whale. So he's trying to hide it, but you can see him. That's a martingale footprint. There's like a tight one. Probably not him, but anyway, you see me talking about martingales. That's like what I'm talking about. It looks like that. That's whale games. These are big dudes. That dude is, every single entry he has is 5 Bitcoin a piece on the leverage books. It's a big dude. We look at Bitfinex spot real quick. Ugh. Look at that sell wall. The hell? So, do you think a whale manually entered all these? No. He didn't. Oh, that's cool. It's kind of cool. They use algorithms and that's all done through API, but it's kind of cool because it like shows you what they're doing. And lo and behold, look, price went up until that dude got hit, and then price bounced off of it. So maybe this price move was actually stopped by Bitfinex. Kind of cool. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. Elizabeth Warren is very upset with us in crypto.
There's a new threat out there. It's crypto, and it is being used for terrorist financing. It is being used for drug trafficking. North Korea is using it to pay for about half of its nuclear weapons program. We can't allow that to continue. There's a new...
So she's got a tune that shockingly matches Jamie Dimon's.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case because it is somewhat anonymous, not fully, and because you can move money instantaneously, and because it doesn't go through, as you mentioned, all these systems that have built up over many years, know your customers, sanctions, OFAC, they can get bypass all of that. If I was the government, I'd close it down.
Okay.
So surprise, surprise, the bankers don't like Bitcoin. For the same reason, I don't ask firemen about what they think about what are the best fireworks. But anyway, guys, that's my stopping point for the day. I'm going to go fire up the stream in the Discord. If you're new and you don't want to come hang out, the Discord's free. There's no paywalls, and the link to it's on the website, rainbow-trends.com. If you want to subscribe, this is the place to do it. I don't offer my tools privately. I don't have, there's a lot of people that are impersonating me, so be careful. You can only do stuff through the website, but if you want, you can check out any of these tools. It's kind of overwhelming when you see it at first, but you can kind of layer in what you need, what you don't need, and you can really wake up what you see on the charts, because a lot of this stuff is hard and it's not meant to be easy. But you can click any of these and you can get more additional information. It'll take you to a YouTube that will explain it. So that's a stream within a stream. But anyway, I'm heading out to the Discord. I'll see the rest of you guys there. Thank you for showing up. Wish you guys the best. Talk to you later.